Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh. My name is Nur Aini Farhana binti Nasruddin and my number matric 1211644. I am from group 1 with my friends Nur Amira Hanani and Nur Nadiatul Husna. Our group is want to present about mental and culture attack in perspective of Adab-Al-Ikhtilaf. For introduction, mental and cultural attacks are interconnected forms of external influence that can profoundly affect individual and collective identities. According to Faraday 2005, mental attacks, which often involve psychological manipulation or trauma, can target an individual's belief systems, mental well-being, and sense of self, causing long-term emotional distress or confusion. These attacks aim to reshape how individuals think and perceive reality, often resulting in mental health issues such as anxiety or depression. Meanwhile, cultural attacks challenge the values, practice, and identities of entire communities or societies. As Edward Said, 1978, argues, in Orientalism, cultural attacks often occur through the imposition of dominant cultural narratives where colonial or global powers attempt to suppress and redefine the traditions and beliefs of marginalized cultures. Such attacks threaten the integrity of cultural identities and can lead to cultural erosion or resistance movement.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nur Nadiatul Husna binti Aman. My matric number is 1213328. I would like to continue the part of the concept mental attack and the concept culture attack. Mental attack are situations where a person is psychologically assaulted to destabilize their mental or emotional state, often through manipulation, false information, or constant pressure. This attack can impact self-esteem and overall psychological health and can be experienced by anyone regardless of age or disorder types. This can include tactical such as gaslighting, constant criticism, isolation, or undermining a person's confidence and reality, which can severely impact their self-esteem and overall psychological health. Mental illness is a health condition that affects a person's ability to think, feel, and act, making it difficult to perform normal tasks and interact with others. Mental attacks have strong impact on the individual emotion and psychology, contributing to the development of mental illness like depression or anxiety disorder. Mental illness is closely related to biological, psychological, and environmental factors. Biological factors such as heredity or chemical change in the brain can increase a person's risk of developing a mental disorder. Psychological factors such as traumatic experience and prolonged emotional stress also play a significant role in the development of mental disorder. Environmental factors such as poor social relationship, sustained abuse, and stressful work environment can trigger and worsen mental disorder. The concept of culture attack, Edward Bernard Tylor defined culture as a complete whole that includes knowledge, belief, art, law, moral custom, and other capabilities acquired through social interaction. It is a learned and transmitted way of life expressed through tradition, art, religions, and other aspects of daily living. However, these complete culture systems are often subject to external influences, leading to a phenomena known as culture attack. Culture attack is an action or process where the culture of a society or country is challenged, replaced, or marginalized by the influence of an outside culture, often from large countries like the United States, Europe, or Western countries. This can affect various aspects of life, including thinking, behavior, speaking, dressing, food, entertainment, and lifestyle. Cultural change is a continuous process where the culture or subculture of a group changes over time through interaction between individual or group to the extent that it can cause a culture attack. Central 1998 identified 5 types of the cultural change, which is assimilation, acculturation, alternation, multiculturalism, and fusion. Assimilation occurs when individuals give up their cultural identity and join a more dominant culture, while acculturation involves interaction between two cultural groups that produce change while maintaining their original identity. Multiculturalism emphasizes cultural diversity, while fusion merges different cultures into one, forming a new culture without any particular cultural superiority. That's all for me. Thank you.
Now, we look to scholars' view on mental attack issues. In terms of psychology and Islam about mental attacks, according to AAD4163, mental illness or mental disorder, also called mental disorder, is a health condition that affects thoughts, feelings, behavior, moods, or a combination of them. Also known as mental illness, this disorder can occur occasionally or last for a long time, chronic, from mild to severe. Mental illness has many types that often occur in society. For example, depression problems, anxiety disorders, bipolar disorder, post-traumatic disorder, and others. According to the World Health Organization (WHO), 1 in 7 children and adolescents in the world has a mental disorder, while in adults, this disorder affects 1 in 4 people in the world. Islamic scholars do not often use the term psychology directly, but there are many specific discussions about the state of the soul called and mental health sihah and nafs, which are translated in the form of religious reminders which are related to the knowledge of tasawwuf. Islamic scholars such as Imam Al-Ghazali in the book Ihya Ulumuddin discuss the importance of mental and spiritual balance. Imam Al-Ghazali emphasized that mental illness can affect a person's faith. Therefore, individuals need to take care of their spiritual and internal health by improving their relationship with God and avoiding things that can damage the soul, including mental attacks. Now we move to the mental attacks in terms of Islam and spiritual. Mental attacks in spiritual context are often associated with demonic disorders or black magic, sihr. In the Quran and Hadith, there are many references that show that shaitan can disturb people's mind by instilling a sense of doubt and influencing a person's emotions and thoughts to mislead them. Surah Al-Falaq and Surah An-Nas are among the prayers that are recited for protection from such disturbance. Surah Al-Falaq verses 4 until 5 says, "And from the evil of the creature that breathes into the bones sihr, and from the evil of the envious person if he is jealous." Next, Islamic scholars such as Imam Al-Nawawi in Riyadhus Salihin emphasize the importance of spiritual protection from the interference of the devil through the practice of dhikr, prayer, and reading verses of the Quran that protect against such attacks. Imam Al-Ghazali also wrote in his work Al-Ihya about the dangers of a weak soul and being influenced by negative feelings, which can lead to spiritual disturbance. He suggests that prayer and tafakkur, which is thinking, can strengthen the soul and protect it from such as distraction. Next, we move to the mental attacks in terms of Islam and philosophy. According to the Islamic philosophers, Imam Al-Farabi and Ibn Sina Avicenna emphasize the importance of morality and the correct use of reason in life. According to them, an untrained intellect and being influenced by feelings or temptation can lead a person towards mental destruction. Regarding to Islamic moral philosophy, individuals need to maintain a balance between rationality and emotion. Imam Al-Ghazali in Ihya Ulumuddin states that human beings need to take care of the health of the heart and intellect by avoiding things that can damage the mind, such as hatred and malice, which are considered a form of mental attacks on the intellect and heart. In addition, mental attacks in philosophical context, also known as attack of thought. This attack of thought, when seen from the order of words, it is clear that what is meant by the attacks is not physically, such as the use of weapons or anything related to physical movement, such as violence, but rather than attack that at first glance is invisible or unnoticed, but is able to penetrate the intellect, where a person's intellect determines the person's gestures and behavior. That's all from me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. wabarakatuh. My name is Amira Hanani binti Zadali. My metric number is 1213555. I will present about the scholar's view on culture attack. Firstly, culture attack in terms of Islam and psychology. According to Preambodo 2021, in 1969, several of the schools in Canada were run by Christian church. Indigenous children were forcibly taken from their home by the school. The schools separate them from their culture and community. The church has eradicated their traditional culture, language, and spirituality. In this school, widespread abuse and neglect are fatal for thousands of children. Other than that, Fitriani 2010 claimed that in Australia, Aboriginal children were taken away from their families in order to teach them European culture, ideas, and to get them ready to work as servants for white people. Aboriginal people are perceived by European people as being untamed, filthy, erratic, stupid, cunning, violent, and homicidal. Additionally, white people treat Aboriginal people like animals and despise them. Ultimately, white people frequently attack Aboriginal people. They were shot, their floor was even tainted with arsenic, and their water source were poisoned. Cultural attacks have a significant impact on identity, heritage, and psychological well-being, as demonstrated by the experience of Indigenous people in Canada and Aboriginal children in Australia, as well as the issue currently facing the Ummah. The basic cause of the malaise of the Ummah lay in current thought process we suffered from intellectual rigidity and stagnation, as stated by Al-Faruqi 1982. Exemplifies how inflexible thought process can cause Muslims to lose confidence and experience an identity crisis. Secondly, culture attack in terms of Islam and spirituality. Mubah 2011 refers culture attack as globalization, which was started by developed nations like the US and other Western nations in order to disseminate their culture globally. Fikri 2023 state that the predominance of Western music, movies, fashion, and lifestyle is a glaring example of this impact. The dissemination of Western popular culture is aided by technological and informational support from social media and streaming platforms such as Instagram, YouTube, and Netflix, which enable it to swiftly and efficiently reach audience around the world and exert influence over other nations. According to Zakaria 2015, the younger generation is increasingly rejecting cultural norms due to its youthful life. The younger generation no longer base their action and behavior primarily on culture in many facets of their life. Today's youth have a tendency to abandon their culturally based identity and embrace a hedonistic attitude, behavior, and lifestyle. However, in Islam, resiliency is the important thing that avoid cultural attack. A study by Abu Ras et al. 2015 suggests that resiliency emerges from the individual, family, community, and other sources, and most frequently from degrees of religion and spirituality. Lastly, cultural attack in terms of Islam and philosophy. Parikasi 2022 stated that the worldwide flow of culture is so powerful that some people believe their own culture is out of date since it doesn't align with the globalization. To establish the same way of life in every nation, differences are eradicated. Eventually, individuals consume the same food, view the same movie, the same fashion look, and use the same language. Cultural trait and cultural identity and critical thinking may all be lost as a result of the progression of this homogeneous society. Ahta et al. 2022 state that the subcontinent that became the dominion of Great Britain and the Mughal Empire was dissolved in 1857 because of the British East India Company's successful suppression of the Indian Revolt. During this upheaval, the Muslim community in South Asia suffered the most. To bring governmental, administrative and educational system into line with contemporary values that had developed in Europe during the Renaissance. The British implemented reform after gaining the power. According to the Harris 2012, it is crucial to remember that there were no stages of development in Islamic history, ranging from the Renaissance to Enlightenment and modernity. As a result, there is no longer any notion that the new is superior to the old or the old must be replaced by the new, which was truly eliminated from modernist thought. Islam rejects the duality between tradition and modernity as a result. Conclusion. The study explored the concept of mental attack and cultural attack, highlighting their significance in contemporary society. Mental attacks are characterized as emotional manipulation and psychological abuse that adversely affect an individual's mental health, leading to issues such as anxiety and depression. The views of mental attack are examined through various lenses. In terms of Islam and psychology, it emphasizes the importance of mental well-being as a component of faith. Spiritually, mental attacks are seen as tests that challenge inner tranquility. And philosophy, they are viewed as disorder of thought that can influence behavior and decision-making. Conversely, cultural attacks involve the imposition of dominant cultural narratives that threaten the identity and heritage of marginalized community. The study discussed cultural attacks from Islamic perspective as well, analyzing them through psychology, where they can lead to psychological trauma and loss of cultural heritage. Spiritually, they can result in a crisis of spiritual identity. And philosophy, they reflect the challenge posed by globalization and the erosion of local culture. The study underscored the need for awareness and proactive measures to combat both mental and cultural attacks to preserve an individual and collective identity. References include work by Edward Said, 1978, on Orientalism, and various scholars discussing the implication of cultural assimilation and the importance of resilience in the face of the culture and mental challenge. That's all from us. Thank you.